Welcome to Going Insane with Temperance Remain. That's me. Hi, guys. Okay, so how y'all doing? You're in the river? The White Rapids have since they hit my back. I've gone through the whitest, wateriest part of it, the pretty rocky part. Again, I was like, we have, seasons of whitewater and rapids. Okay, so before I jump the gun and welcome, okay, and let's just invite Gang here because I've been meditating. I've been receiving their messages to me that are confirming that I haven't been the only one, obviously, going through the stretching, right? But that we're also that we're entering into the next now, collectively and individually. Okay, so hold on. Oh, gang, OCG, come and talk with me. Okay. Okay. Archangels, guides, ascended masters, 5D and above, please come in and make me a clear, concise, precise, and articulate. It's always very nice. Channel for your message because it's your message, not my message, to share with me and the souls watching. And whenever you're here is your now, okay? Make it pertinent and relevant, encouraging, enlightening, edifying, and keep me on track with the message and the actions that I'm supposed to be fulfilling in this moment. Okay. I love you, gang. Okay. I see Magdalene, Metatron, and Michaelangel, which are really predominant energies in this, for the time such as this, right? Okay, they're trying to remind me of what Sananda. Hi, Sananda. What Sananda said. It's a time the transformation of times, not the end of times. It's the end of how things used to be, as we transform into what we're here to push on through into. And okay, so now they just reminded me of that I liken my journey to to my twin, to my counterpart, the that is like dragging a paratrooper who landed in the Vietnam jungle by his boots with his parachute deployed through the freaking jungle, and just steady out as the parachute's getting snagged on stuff, and sometimes he puts his arms out and goes, ah! But that's that's kind of the way it feels for most feminines, I find, or divine feminines, right? Okay, and but then they're bringing that to my recollection right now because it's actually, since the twin flame journey and the ascension of Gaia journey, they're in lockstep, and we're doing both jobs as light workers, starseeds, twin flames. We're fulfilling both roles at the same time, and I mean, females are kind of are adept. We're apt to do that because we've got the mommy thing, where we can hear all the way in the other room at all times, whether our baby's crying or our children, what they're doing, as we're in a conversation with somebody else, just for an example. And we can always have to multitask. I mean, if you have two babies and a house to clean and laundry to do and errands to run and phone calls to make because you have to be on hold for an hour, The masculines are not supposed to, their makeup is not like that. We're not supposed to be the same. That's the bottom line. We're not supposed to be making the same journey. I'm not supposed to be seeing things like a dude. I'm a Cancer rising. I have total mother instincts and maternal instincts, and I've raised 2 children and an ex-husband until I realized I wasn't his mommy and cut him loose, or at least tried for years and years. And then my dad was the same. He saw me as I don't know, like since he was a bachelor, twice, and if we count the love of his life that didn't stay with him, that's thrice. And I was the substitute for that. And he got to stay home and play with the kids this time because he didn't with me and my brother. Okay. So just as an example. And so the roles. Okay. So keep me on track. Gang, Metatron. Thank you, Metatron. Okay. So I'm supposed to go into, I don't know how much detail. I have all my cards out, but this is a check in more than it is a reading. So I don't know how they're going to handle it. I'm just giving you guys a heads up. Okay. So my lemony snicket I've been going through for 2 weeks straight, right? It's been stretching, even for me, and I'm accustomed to being stretched in this area. I mean, that's the thing. We're being stretched and tested. Thank you. We're being stretched and tested from the experiences in our wells. Okay. So, thank you. So our life walk, no matter what it is, no matter how shadowy the shadows are, how much darkness, there was always light, but because that you can't have a shadow unless there's light, right? But no matter how far shadowy they've been, or how blessed they've been on either side, it's the tweens too that we're pulling from. It's how we, as light workers, starseeds, twins, yada yada, push through, learn from, the choices we make that walked us through. So there's some videos I'm going to just tag at the end, that came out at the end of the day yesterday, and they are really amazing and confirmative. And I would take a whole video just to talk about those. So I'm going to leave those for you guys. I did post them in my Facebook ministry yesterday, if any of you all caught those. Okay. Okay. Back on track, guys. Our wells. Right. So that's going to be the foundation of our light worker missions. Okay. Our ministries, if you will. Okay. How we feed who we're here to feed with our particular realm of expertise. You see, because there's so many of us, and we're going through so many different paths, because we're supposed to have our niches are filled with our expertise for what that we can pull from to okay, thank you. Okay, so rehab. Okay, so people say, can people that have never been addicted to alcohol or their focus was alcohol or drugs, whatever, or eating, or codependency, or trauma, drama, love, situations, can somebody without that experience help somebody who's walking through it in the moment, or trying to find the pathway out, because their desire, they're looking for help, so because their desire is to alter their path, whatever that means for them, right? but in ways that keep the foundation healthy and strong, and because there's always ebb and flow. Okay, and that's the emerald tablets. If I recommend everybody look up the emerald tablets. Okay, it's the ebb and flow, like the waves, like the ocean, in and out. Our journey is not just straightforward. The world tells us that we have to force our way. Okay, so I always kind of had an innate understanding of this because it didn't work to just willpower yourself out of a self-medicating situation, whatever it is, self-pacifying or entitlement reaction to the trauma drama that we've codependently. If you guys listen to the David Wilcock first hour, if you haven't, I strongly recommend it. It was his last video. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. So they recognize that they're in a self-sabotaging, because we've all been there, because otherwise we wouldn't be here, because we wouldn't have walked out of it. But we had to recognize it first to stop it because of the programming. Okay. So as they start understanding that they're ready to walk out, and they want the tools in their tool belt to get them through. Okay. And an accountability measure, because we all need an accountability. And if their accountability isn't to the Most High, straight up, like mine is, okay, then they need to learn that that's the higher power is a real thing. I mean, the 12 steps have good foundation, except for that declaring that your issue is a problem and you're ill, because that's a lame duck excuse. Okay. It's not. It's a way of thinking. So I would never, not even in rehab, I would not claim and say, "Hi, my name's Tracy. I'm an alcoholic," because I knew I wasn't an alcoholic. I'm not an ick of anything. Okay. You understand? I'm not icky on anything. I knew that I was using it to pacify my poor me. Oh, let's say poor me. Poor, pitiful me. Okay. Here, I don't know why I'm holding this book. I guess they want me to show you. I haven't read it yet. I brought it, so I would. That we have to jump out, how to come out. Okay, so, yeah, sorry, I got totally distracted. Okay, so that's why our well is, it's in its patterns over and over and over again, that we self-sabotage ourselves by returning. Oh, yeah, that's right. So our journey is not just cutting a path straight through and bulldozing our way to perfection, because we're not supposed to be perfect. Perfect is left for Sananda. He's the only one perfect in this whole universe. You understand? The Mother, Father, God are the ultimate perfect. Okay. So see, okay. So we're supposed to be just experiencing it, and the whole point of our existence is to experience all the aspects. We're all little pieces of the Most High or Sananda, okay, or respectively, and they're experiencing all of this possibilities of existence to get to know itself through its pieces that experience the whole spectrum of life choices. Okay, and then we have the quantum, which we won't go into, because if you have an idea about quantum, you kind of get the right. Okay, and timelines and yada yada. Okay, so God's not judging itself. Mother, Father, God, they're not judging their offspring, their pieces of themselves, as unlovable, because we're out here doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're living, and so okay. So that's why the way back to where always returning back to the path for the high, thank you, to the path for the highest good of the all is our mantra. It's our focus. Once we get out of the trauma drama, the spastic static, of what we're going through, and in the inner battle, the stinking thinking, the self-condemnation that we've been programmed to feel because of the judgment, because they created religion and social, there's laws for a reason, but we're born with right and wrong. We know that it's bad to kill somebody and that adultery is not okay. And because you're supposed to be honoring the on and on, right? Okay. And the laws are there for the land. That's why when the Romans, when in Rome, do as the Romans, because we've constructed ourselves the states that we live in, which are supposed to be sovereign. Oh, that was pretty good, guys. The states that are supposed to be sovereign from the federal aspect of our government, which they're not, because as Jen Psaki said yesterday, the federal law, overrules Texas and Florida. Well, fuck, it doesn't, because you're only supposed to be protecting our borders. That's the main function of the federal government. They're not supposed to be taxing us, and they're not supposed to be telling the Texas state voters what the rules are. They want the boundaries, the self-love boundaries, they would like to apply to their citizens. And if you don't like the laws that the citizens put down, then you need to leave and go make your own community where people like you live. Hi. Welcome to 101, right? Okay, so okay. Oh, that was fun. Okay, so what now? All my experiences. Okay. So my lemony snicket that I've been going through for 2 weeks solid. The situation broke me. They didn't break me. Okay. The situation broke me down. And it was designed to test my resilience back to faith. Or my resilience back to faith, rather. Okay. And how I'm actually applying what I'm teaching. And I'm teaching it because I've been walking through it, because I have that well from which to draw from. Not everybody can teach this because not everybody's lived my well of experiences. Okay. Same for you. Ta-da. There, that went full circle. That was pretty good. So, it started with the bank. If you haven't, been following, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to explain everything, but all the videos has the journey. Okay. And it's the ones that started, the last 2 or 3 weeks. There was a gap in between. Okay. Okay. So it started with the bank thing where I found the fraudulent charge and they canceled my debit card. Okay. Which needed to happen because I had all these sucker charges, that you really can't find your way back to cancel, like from Google or whatever, right? Like text free. Don't use them. They're still trying. They haven't been able to make a charge in a very long time, and they're still trying to automatically withdraw. Okay. But I feel good because of this situation. That's stopped happening, and it's become evident to which ones they work. I had forgotten, which is what they count on, right? And they don't need your acknowledgement once you click their small print acceptance, right? Which who's going to read that? Therein lies the rub, right? Okay, so it started with that. And my bank, BBVA, is now PNC. So there's also a transition happening at the same time, which, but the financial structure is fixing to collapse and reboot without too much pain. Okay, so don't panic. But it's like you see, I don't know how you guys get your news or information, but I forget, somewhere I think in the Middle East, they're holding everybody's money. The bank said, you can't get your money. And that's because their banks, they're being hit because they're crooks, and they were fighting the Nasara. Okay. Well, so the white hats are talking to all the federal institutions all around the world, because they're going to flip our financial system into one that's more, because, okay, I have the details. Just trust me on this right now, because I don't want to get too deep down that rabbit hole. Because if you want to know more, let me know, and I'll whatever topics you want me to discuss, I would be happy to. Just leave me a comment or drop me an email. Okay, so they had to send me a replacement card, and it still hasn't arrived. Okay, but the new bank name, the new structure, had sent me a new one, but it had to wait until like the 8th or the 9th. I think the 8th, whatever Friday was, to activate it. Okay, well, due to lemony snicket circumstances, a battle I'm having with Texas. Okay, and I won't go down that rabbit hole. Let's just say it's legal, it's fucked, and I could, if I would have chosen to do that battle, my life path would have been very different. I was encouraged to let it go and release it to karma, to the universe, to trust that I'm putting it in my bank, right, my heart bank, to trust, release, and have faith and walk it out, even though their fucked upness is actively disturbing my ability to thrive on a legal, because I don't have a license. They're stopping me from getting well, it's expired and it's gone, so I can't get a replacement one, and they won't let me renew it. After, I'm just gonna preface that a little bit and say they no, I'm not no, because I'd have to explain everything. Anyway, okay, so I don't have a license that the bank will accept to prove that it's me to withdraw money from the bank. I have been without a penny for over 2 weeks, knowing there's money in there and trying to get into it. Okay, and so these lemony snicket circumstances stretched me like silly putty, man. It's like, I lost my phone. I mean, not my phone. I didn't like lose it. My service, because I couldn't pay the bill, and the card is still not here. Oh no, the first one came. So I took the bank and my closed card and a copy, like a photocopy, like a paper copy, a Xerox copy of my license to the bank, and they wouldn't accept it as me and let me get my money. I'm like, are you kidding me? I need gas, and I don't have a phone. I can't even call you guys. I can't call anybody. Nobody can call me. I was totally out of pocket, and this was my only form of connection at all. It's very interesting. and I'm gonna say I did not arrive into a pity party at my lowest point. Okay, but I made a video about it as well. I don't know if it was the last one, I think. But the street urchin thing, I mean, I felt like a street urchin because they treated me like one, but I didn't come off like one, and I just wanted to jump, because then I have this battery thing, and I was like, oh, wow. Okay, now I know from my experiences of my life path that if I can not fall into the fear factor and line up real quick, ground out, line up, that once that's well established, as I'm good there, I know that I'm not abandoned. I know gang's with me. They're always with me. I know that I'm here for a purpose, and my purpose, because I'm a very giving person. Oh, they wanted me to mention this. The last couple of years, I've given substantially to, and I'm not, I'm supposed to preface it. I'm not complaining, I'm explaining, and I'm not boasting. I'm hosting this video, okay? I've given a lot to the Wounded Warrior Project because my heart was with the warriors, because I can just right now, it makes me so emotional. I can't imagine what the white hat soldiers are going through down in those dumps. What they're seeing, witnessing, what they're fighting against, which is otherworldly and horrific and evil, and the circumstances that they had all these children and victims of trafficking in the dumps beneath us, okay, in the tunnels. I wanted to help fund and put my energetic exchange, which money is just energy, right? It's flow, into where my heart was. And I also made that energetic exchange to back the white hats. Of course, I had no idea how long it was going to take for the Nassar Jassar, but it doesn't matter because I would do the same thing again, even looking back. I really, I was partnering in, even if I ended up in this situation, I was willing to risk this situation of no flow. There's an exchange, there's different kinds of flow, right? But to release the 3D comfort zone that we're programmed is important. To fund my energy exchange with the higher realms, because that's me. I'm not expecting everybody to be like me. I'm not boasting, I'm hosting. I'm not complaining, I'm explaining, okay? And because that's where my heart was, because I'm all in on this. I have known that something was coming since I was a small child, and so I've been groomed. I've been groomed by my higher self, and myself. I made the contract before I came down here, so somewhere inside of me, I know I'm aware at some levels, just like we all are. Even though the veil of forgetfulness is very, it's like an iron curtain, right? As we need to know and remember and be encouraged and motivated forward, right? Inertia drops and hints through our lifetimes, in whether it's dreams, synchronicities, whatever. Okay, we get it, because that's our journey. We're light workers, okay? We're star seeds. We are twin flames, whatever. And you don't have to have a label if you don't understand what your label is, or you don't like the labels. I'm just using it as a point of reference. So, okay, so where was I going? Oh, my experiences. Okay, so, okay, so the card hadn't come, still hasn't arrived in the mail. I was, and then, so the bank would not with the 2 cards, and not with a copy, with a copy of my license, which they have on their files. I'm standing there in front of them. They can see that it's me. And there was another factor that gave them an excuse not to. And all of these things are set up like this to block me, because okay. God shelf, collecting God dust. I've been placed there many times in my life. I recognize, I acknowledge the placement, because I've outsmarted myself and people. And it's not really manipulation, but it's out thinking, because my brain works. I'm pretty good. It's not a manipulation. It's just, it's not like trying to manipulate them. It's just knowing what will work. Like when I was going into Liviani, and they told me that they didn't know when I'd be expected. I don't do well like that shit, right? I mean, I'm better at it now because I've been put through it over and over and over again, so I could get good at it. Okay. And hence, this is for y'all too. It's like you get put in we get put in our situations over and over again so that we can get really good at it. Then we have the professional status. We're pros. And we dip from a well of professional experiences that got us their education, right? I drank down to, and I was living with my dad, and I don't do well with secrets, and had my children. I was really desperate, and so I drank a bottle, and I called, and I started, and they elevated my arrival status, necessity level as urgent. And it took me out of the house like a week earlier. And the reason I know that is because on the other end, because I jumped the gun. I took off too fast, and all that stuff I was supposed to experience in the interim, I skipped. So I had to go back and experience it in a different way, which I couldn't tell you which one after that because there's so many, right? But once getting out of the rehab, we're supposed to go into the TLC, the transitional living, and had my 2 kids, and they went with me, okay? And I sat in El Liviani for a week extra than I was supposed to do, and without knowing if the preparations were going to come through for. Ended up the apartment is pretty good. That had been reserved for me hadn't been lived in for the whole month. It was vacant. But the rehab center, the TLC, had an incident that made it shaky whether or not they were going to even accept any more rehab people. And it was like so in your face, and it was the exact amount of time probably that it would have taken me. Okay, so you see, when I get put on a God shelf, it's so that I don't mess up the grand plan, the path for the highest good of the all, because I can shake things up by my choices, just like you can if we're rebellious. All right. Okay. So I know that I'm taken care of. I have faith that my karma is not that I've done, is not what I'm paying off here. Okay. It's not something I've done. It's not fair. It's not about being fair or karmic in this lifetime sense. I'm here. I understand now. I've come into the understanding with the obvious things that they brought to my attention and shared with me, right? I'm breaking karma for lineage. That's what the twins are here doing. I mean, since I don't know if all starseeds and light workers if that's their journey, okay? And it's really hard to understand why you're going through something so difficult and trying, and when the balance of karma is not balanced, it's heavy on the side of experience, exponentially hard on the experiential side, okay, for a soul. Where was I going with that? I lost it. Oh, okay. Also, since I've become a professional at faith walking and knowing that they're there and believing, my discernment muscle, my intuition muscle, faith muscle, okay? I'm brought with the task that is not something that's going to break me. It's never more than I can handle, but it is needed for the karma, the karmic payout, and releasing, transmuting back to the original, okay? Everything ties together, of Gaia, okay? All the way back to Lemuria and Atlantis. There's a twin flame video I will put at the bottom, if anybody's interested in that journey, and you don't feel you are, or maybe you're curious if you are. This one will explain it, and you'll know innately, you'll know with your discernment and your intuition if it's you, if it resonates with you, then welcome, hi. Good job, by the way. Okay, so all the way back to Atlantis and Lemuria, and the trauma drama. I mean, ever since then. Okay, and the programming and the blind compliance into where we are right now. Okay, this is a slow walk. This isn't boom. From Atlantis to here was not a leap. It was a slow walk, man, and it's been trust me, the walk back to center is way less, okay, because our momentum and our inertia is more effective, and it's easier to overcome the dark with light. We just needed more light. Hi, light workers. Hi, star seeds. Okay, so that being said, so and then I had to anchor in, and I was anchoring in and down because I stay pretty grounded. I love being outside, right? I pay attention to what I'm supposed to do. I always ask for help, guidance, and filters. Filter of the mind and filter of my mouth, what comes out of it, what goes in my mind and what comes out my mouth. Yes. And I find that is a well-played 5D chess move, is to ask for help before you need it. Preventially, to prevent instead of correct, right? Okay, so yesterday, oh, by the way, I had applied for all these jobs and stuff because I have just drove up to California to Mount Shasta, and then ended up in Colorado and worked at a hot springs there. Shout out to Ellen, with a soulmate of mine, okay, and very dear friend. I love you, Ellen. It's been wild. And then she got a message from me that I was supposed to stay here, and that I had some stuff to do. I forget how she put it exactly. Because we were wondering if I would just turn around and go back to where she's from, and so we could sit down, because we met in Mount Shasta. Okay, that's enough of that information. So, she had gotten the download that and right before all this stuff happened, that I needed to just be here because I needed to wrap some stuff. I told her yesterday, because my phone got turned on by a miracle and a blessing, and because the higher realms, I mean, Sananda and karma, and it's like when we think, once we kind of settled in and are truly established in our faith walk, and coming into the center, accepting the good, the bad, the ugly, and correctly processing it in our minds, in our hearts, and the criteria for the karma busting to have happened, whatever that looks like for you, then there's okay, because we're not protected and loved and provided for, always. So and I didn't ask anybody to borrow any money, even against the money I have in my account, because I wasn't led to. And I knew that if I got into the codependency of needing that cushion of the 3D realm, that that it would take longer, because if I'm doing it out of step with the highest path for the greatest good of all, instead of the small, then it's going to stretch out the time. I'm not interested in stretching out the timetable for our execution through this period to take longer than is necessary, just because I feel a little discomfort. Okay, I'm okay. I'm resourceful. I've been here before. I know the lay of the land. I know what to do, where to go. Even without a phone, I could still do videos, and I still was uploading content here. I was still stacking them, right? Well, there's always a way. I mean, it's like, it's okay, you know. And then if I couldn't have, then I wouldn't have, because it wasn't supposed to happen, but it was, because it did. Okay. So, well, she came out, and I had borrowed her phone to call the bank, because I needed to make sure that the card wasn't lost or not sent, and to report the other one gone, because and I hadn't used a phone. I hadn't asked to borrow a phone, and she just offered it to me. And I was like, oh yeah, well, okay. So, I sat on the phone with the bank on hold for an hour and a half in my car with her borrowed phone in the parking lot. And I'm like, okay, however long it takes, you know, whistle while you wait. Finally. And then I went through all this stuff, and it was like so close to, but but we recentered, and I did find out the card has been mailed. It's just a matter of time. Anyway, so she followed me back out to my car. I was already in it, and she said, hold on. And then yeah, honey. Anyway, I'm not going to go into the details. Maybe I will at a different time. But she said, I don't know what your circumstances are, but can I loan you some money, and you can pay me back whenever? And I'm like, $10 would really be a blessing. I could put it in my gas tank. And she goes, but I've got 100. And I went, and I had to go through. I had to do check. I had to do a check in to see if I was supposed to receive this blessing. Okay, and I did. And then I went, and I had some obstacles with Metro and Cricket, because I was going to, with the interaction with Metro, they weren't going to help me, and because it'd been so long since I'd paid my bill, like half the month, right? And I'm like, I'm not paying the full amount, and I need to drop some of my services down and eliminate one, and that can't happen. I'm like, okay, so you want me to go to Cricket? They're like, whatever. I'm like, I said, that's a shame. I said, this is a great company, because they've always been real good to me. And so I went to Cricket, which was, the next one in line, and they wanted me to wear a mask. And she popped up from behind. She was wearing a mask with nobody in the fucking building. I mean, by herself, she's wearing a mask. That poor little scared soul. I felt so bad for her. And she pops up. She goes, you need to wear a mask. I said, I don't wear masks. And she says, okay, well, I said, so you want me to go to Boost? She's like, I'm like, just do it. And she's like, whatever. I'm like, okay. Well, I could have because I was emotional about being able to have any money in my hand, and I wanted to get the phone set up, so then I knew how much, so that I could put gas in the car. And then so I'm like, so I almost, it's like, that's when you get into the frantic panic mode of, and so I recentered again. I said, okay. And they kept putting the image of the store, the Metro store further up. And I said, so you want me to try again? Really? Let's try again. So I go up there. And so I calmed myself down, because I wasn't agitated with those girls. They're just ignorant. They're just naive. whatever you want to say, wrong, first of all, because they can help. They just can't do it themselves. It's a power thing. They could have referred me like this next guy did, to call customer service. So anyway, I got this really great guy on customer service. He had a rooster in the background because I said, "Is that a rooster?" He says, "Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm working from home." I said, No. I said, "I just recognized it because I love roosters. I love them in the morning. I love waking up with the roosters." Always have. Anyway, so we got a rapport going. I explained my situation. And not only did he waive fees, he got it all the way down to $45 for my tablet and my phone, and reset my bill date moving forward. Ta-da! Grace. That's grace. Okay? So, yay! Now I can go wherever I want. I don't have to find Wi-Fi to keep updated with what's going on with the collective or to get downloads. But one of the main exercises I was going through was not needing necessarily to have my device. That putting it down as a different a different form of addiction or medication, self-medicating, was really important for me to be able to release it and be calm and always come into the 0.0 point, you know, with or without it. So if you've been, if you've been feeling that niggle that you need to set your stuff down and release the addictions of social media, etc., I encourage you to do it before you get forced into a position kind of like me, where it gets taken from you by the necessity and force. Because our souls, our oversouls are in charge of this version of us, okay? And we really can't get mad at ourselves for the lessons that is the best for ourselves, our soul selves, and keeps us on the highest path for the greatest good of the all. And there we have it, folks. That's full circle. Let me see. I gotta make sure I have it. Okay. Okay. Oh, oh, we're good. Okay. Okay, angels. I'll pull some cards. I may do another full reading later. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes, minute to minute. There's no sense in, in locking down plans when each moment and choices and free will from other souls is, not for stuff like this, right? We still have to live within the 3D and be responsible to only make plans or tie ourselves down to such a rigid scheduling or whatever, um, to serve the highest good of all and be responsible and um, um, what's the word? Respectful of other people's time and energy as well. Okay. Okay. So it's been interesting. None of my business, right? Um, it's been interesting being very visible and then also invisible at the same time. Like, I had a couple of instances with my battery, and I'm like, why won't people offer to help me? It was a, it was, if I was gonna, it was the closest to self-pity mode. I wasn't afraid, but it shocked me that people weren't offering. Obviously, I had my hood up and my cables right there, and people just kept passing me by. I'm like, wow, which concerned me for their souls, not for my circumstances so much. Because I knew eventually the angels would send the right person, and they did, and I was blessed, and in more ways than one. And that's what they were telling me: wait for the right one. But it was watching all these people's choices to pass me by instead of offer help. I mean, what that does to their karma, what that says about their awareness. And I actually find that oblivion and awareness, they're still both very obvious, but the oblivion is palpable still, which, I don't do a lot of interacting with people. I kind of keep with like-minded, like-hearted ones anymore, because I've learned that lesson. But I'm talking about in the general population. I'm like, are we making enough progress? Is pulling these people with the parachutes deployed? Is it working? Do I need to exert more energy? What can I do to help this along? Because we need to reach the tipping point, and we're very close. We're teetering, and I'm like, what do you want me to do? I'll take on a heavier burden if we can get this teeter-totter to stay down on the other end where we need it to be, right? Okay. That was a whole nother rabbit hole, right? Okay, rabbit trail anyway. Okay, good. You ready, gang? That one. Okay. Okay. I think we're just going to do these. Oh, why did I do that? And then some angel cards. Should I pull them now? After? All right. Okay. You cannot pour from an empty cup. 35. All right. So that's an 8. And therein lies the self-care and why it's so important. I guess I won't go into the wrong one. Oh. Oh, no, it's the wrong. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Another thing, being in desperate situations. Okay, this is something else. They want me to put in the forefront that returning to old past behavior patterns that you've spent so much time addressing, or in the middle of addressing, whatever, acknowledging, addressing, and pushing through, overcoming, just for comfort and ease, only insist that the cycle repeat. So only if you're interested in repeating the whole. I had an opportunity to digress and slide down a slippery slope the other day, and apparently, okay, but not backsliding isn't necessarily walking, which is the bulldozing through by sheer will thing, the ebb and the flow, revisiting and then self-correcting promptly, and with all the tools in your belt, that's going to slingshot you forward. So don't beat yourself up as the ebb and the flow happens in your life. Go read the Emerald Tablets, please. They're Googleable. Okay. Ninja Seals, they say. You cannot pour from an empty cup. It's easier for so many of us to want to give. Give, give, give. but it's impossible to pour from an empty cup. You may believe you are being more generous by sacrificing your own well-being for your family, your company, your community, but you're not. You're simply playing the role of savior without saving yourself, which also puts us in danger of playing the role of the martyr. Those are unbalanced. Okay, that's out of the center, right? That actually is just service to self, because you think that that you're above the lessons, or yeah, that you should get a bigger pat on the back for that. That's why I guess that's why they say that's why the if you guys get that in my car, turn it off. Street sweeper, and they just blew all that stuff in my windows. I've had such bad allergies. Anyway, you're not entitled to anything because you give. It's a heart bank thing. That's heart bank. And wow. It was so windy yesterday. So that the mind placement, the heart placement, the ego on that is if that must be for somebody to press in and release. Okay. The role of savior without saving yourself. It's a feeble form of denial to believe you can help someone else without first healing the same wounds in yourself. Too many times, they are so good at this. Too many Too many times we may feel guilty. Oh no, here we go. Good grief, excuse me. Too many times we may feel guilty saying no to an important project or task. It's even worse for those of us with big missions. There's no extra credit for running yourself into the ground. Let that sink in. There's no extra credit for running yourself into the ground. There's no extra credit for running yourself into the ground. In the same way, in some way or another, your body will tell you it needs a rest. Your body will tell you. And of course, it's always better to respond. Cravings are well, not, that's why the fast food and the sugar and everything and all that, the sodas, they're there to entice us to want more of what's bad for us. Because once we clear our bodies from that, it can ask us what it'll ask through a craving what it needs, what it's lacking in, so that you can give it what it is in lack of, so that there's no more lack of that, right? There's no extra credit for running yourself into the ground. In some way or another, your body will tell you it needs a rest. Often this will come in inopportune times. Yes, and that's to stretch your faith muscles, okay? The most selfless thing you can do is ensure you are taken care of. Fill your cup. What truly fills my cup? A cosmic catalyst. What can I do daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly? Think of different situations and activities, small or big. List at least 11. Cosmic checkbox. Share your list of cup-filling activities with those closest around you and schedule some time in your calendar. Okay. You will only see the way by making the way. They're so good at this. Okay. You only see the way by making the way. There are no well-marked trails to travel anymore. All institutions, organizations, and establishments are in a state of creative destruction. Woohoo! Desara, hi. They're so good at this. Gang, gang. All institutions, organizations, and establishments are in a state of creative destruction. Yes, yes. The safe route or the right way to build your life, your resume, your business is over and done. Repeat that. The safe route or the right way to build your life, your resume, your business is over and done. We're not in the same system anymore, folks. The 1010 portal, it was a high trajectory. It was well met by light workers, gang, gang. And we raised our timeline. We are just close to at least ending this, wrapping up this, what we've been waiting on since, what everybody's been waiting on since November 3rd or whatever, right? Okay. The truth about this world is fixing to just blow, it's just going to, okay. I'm excited. Can you tell? The safe route, the right way to build your life, your resume, your business is over and done. If you've received this card, it's time now for you to walk the pathless path, leading with love. Rejoice. Woohoo! Don't have to ask me twice. Feed that vortex instead of the fear vortex, right? What a time and space to be alive, taking part in nudging forward the next era of evolving human consciousness. Woo! Ninja Seals, word! You volunteered to be a torch bearer, leaving guideposts for others as you move ahead with joy as your GPS. Yes, yes. Cosmic Catalyst. What did I volunteer for down here in service of evolving myself and the world? Cosmic Checkbox. Get lost on purpose. Turn off your phone. Oh, tss. They are so good at this. Turn off your phone and simply allow yourself to wander in a new area freely. Oh, oh, I did read it all. Okay, wow, that was a blank. Well, there you go. Here it is again. Bloom where you are planted. If you don't know, this card has come up. This will be the second or third time. Anyway. Oh. There it was. 6. Bloom where you are planted. You are in exactly the perfect place. It may seem difficult to be on Earth during these accelerated times of learning, and we have it. Yeah, it's an individual experience, but how you're receiving your moment to moments will either accelerate them or drag them out. So it's a matter of necessity for your soul to stretch. Okay. You are in exactly the perfect place. It may seem difficult to be on Earth during these accelerated times of learning. You may long for your place in the stars as you gaze at the night sky, but you were brought to Earth for a definite reason. In fact, you picked it, even if you don't remember why. Embrace being part of and literally grown from this planet for the next collective evolution. Woohoo! Bloom where you are planted, and bloom where you are planeted. Cosmic Catalyst. What is the inside job I can do to create a greater impact in the world exactly where I am already through my profession, business, community, neighborhood, etc.? Make a checklist of 10 different actions you can take within the next month after answering the Cosmic Catalyst prompt. Your great wave awaits. Ride that wave. Hang 10, baby. We got this. Enjoy the curl. Don't forget to enjoy the ride, okay? And when you're in every moment and experiencing and instead of looking at the beach, you're enjoying being in the curl, okay? Surfing analogy. The experience is fuller. It's more vivid. It will stay longer. It will ingrain itself in your memory banks, and you'll be able to draw from that experience for a very long time, if not forever, okay? Even in future existences if you want it. Potentially, right? Your great wave awaits. If we're always looking at the beach, if we're always looking at the beach where we want to be landed at, it's going to take longer to get there, but you won't have the experience to take with you either. Okay? Okay. A wave starts slowly. You can see its energy as it begins to slightly swell on the horizon. At first, there's nothing more than a small inflation of water, barely different than the surrounding water, but you can see it. The swell gains amplitude and height, and now you have a wave that you can unsuccessfully struggle against or ride with joyful bliss. The choice is yours. The great wave awaits, ready for you to proclaim your next greatest purpose. No doubt you may be scared at how big this energy is, or fearful of the scope of actions necessary to accomplish it. Be like water. Flow, ebb and flow. They're so good at this. Be like water. Flow through any thought holding you back from this full resolution. Your momentum has gathered. Flow through any thought holding you back from this full resolution. Your momentum has gathered to surf. Okay, your momentum has gathered to surf the cosmic wave of destiny. Dun, 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 dun. Ninja SEALs, they said. Okay. What is my greatest purpose that can positively impact the greatest number of people? Become the wave. Ooh, even better, right? Either go to the ocean and observe the waves for 20 minutes. Okay, let's go. I'm down. For 20 minutes, or find a video online. Okay. Trust and act accordingly. Wow. Trust and act accordingly. How would you act if you absolutely knew the universe had even more in store for you than you could imagine? Without a doubt. What would be your next step now? Whatever we think we want typically comes from our small selves, and that's not always in alignment with our divine destiny unfolding. They are so good at this. Oh my goodness. Gang, gang. Think back to when you've made significant leaps. Where did the support come from? Wow. Okay. Consider what kind of allies, resources, and even synchronistic opportunities have opened up only after you've acted. The universe is always nudging us forward and revealing itself in our crazy ideas, that perfect nature. Oh. The universe is always nudging us forward and revealing itself in our crazy ideas and perfect nature. Trust. Okay? What would I do right now if I fully trusted that I am supported no matter what? Research one step you can take toward that goal that you have and put it in your calendar. Okay, well, that was the end of those. It's angel cards, and I gotta get off here. So I can get it up, right? Ready? So what do they do that with? Okay. Plus, I'm getting my butt's getting a little tender. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's again. There's our ship. It's come in. Okay. They said, okay, prosperity arising from wise planning. Time to take the next step. Optimistic plans that turn out as expected. Just do it. We're gonna do it. Okay. The magician, Raziel. Woo! Go team Raziel, Uriel. All right. You can manifest the life you want. What you need will magically appear. Successful beginnings. They are so good at this. They love us so much, you guys. I pray for all of y'all to take from my well of experience, to add that cherry on top of your faith sundae, and so you can gobble up life. Okay? You have the magical touch of angels on your side. New projects that you start will be very successful. You have all the resources you need, even if you can't see them at this time. I have no doubt. You may be underestimating the skill and knowledge that you've accumulated. Perhaps. You're prepared for this moment in your life, and the road ahead is safe and sure. With Archangel Raziel beside you, additional assistance in the form of guidance, supportive people, or a windfall of abundance will seem to magically appear. Anything is possible. However, to receive this help, you have to confidently take action. You must move forward with your plans in a way that displays to others and to yourself that you have no doubt as to your coming success. Faith muscles, people. Tally ho, let's go. Additional meanings of this card: creative solutions, skill and confidence, the ability to manifest, focused action, taking the initiative. Additional meanings of this card: creative. Oh, I just did that. Raziel is a magical archangel who can guide you in conjuring the life you dream of living. I love Raziel. I was going to say something, but I think actually, okay, I will. Raziel wants to do. I think Uriel kind of hangs out with me more than and my counterpart Raziel, because I've seen that dude manifest stuff from 1 minute to the second. Very active in his powers. I think he's a manifesting fool, and I think it's because Raziel hangs out with him more. And even though Uriel and Raziel are a team with us. Just saying. The wizard-like angel sits near the throne of God and is privy to the holy secrets necessary to help you manifest wondrous and amazing opportunities for yourself. Raziel, I know. Oh, it's just funny. Um, what wish are you trying to make come true? Ask Archangel Raziel for assistance when you need resources of any kind to facilitate what you're trying to create. Amen. Knight of Ariel. Trustworthy, understanding, devoted, and funny. There is so much to accomplish. Make a very detailed plan. Being watched over by someone kind. Three of Raphael. Reasons to celebrate. A community of friends. Happy announcements regarding relationships or children. Last but not least, to wrap up this journey we've just taken together, perspective, Archangel Samuel. There's a better way. Pause for reflection and insight. Dare to be different. Woo-wee. Well, all right, Samuel. Let's talk about it. Share. Do tell. Okay. There's a better way. You've probably noticed that your past approach is no longer working for you. Archangel Samuel asks that you pause what you're doing and look at things from a different perspective. While this time of reflection is temporary, it is also extremely important to your spiritual evolution and growth. This card can also indicate that your heart may be leading you to perform a selfless act of kindness for someone else. This form of compassion is always rewarded, and your angels will be standing by your side. Remember that you give the world your greatest gift by being your true, unique, eclectic self. Additional meanings: a pause of reflection, time moving slowly, a change in priorities, unconventional ideas, daring to be different. Archangel Samuel is known for helping people find what it is that they are seeking. His name means the eyes of God, and you can call upon him when you're trying to understand a situation from a different perspective. By the way, they just reminded me or pointed out to me, this is the card in the tarot deck known as the Hanging Man. This is the card of Pisces, which is the full moon energy that we encountered a few weeks back. Okay, yeah, this moon is, we're pushing into this next, the new moon was very powerful, but we're also going to, I don't know the planetary placements because I didn't want to I don't do it like that. If it gets brought to my attention, I have it in my knowledge bank to share because it's important. And not that it's not important, but how, like impactful. We're almost to the next full moon. It's coming up already again, and that's amazing. Okay. I was talking about the some things. There was a bunch of planets all together, really powerful planets that were all in retrograde, which means to revisit stuff, which is this time that we've been going through together. And it's Mars or Mercury retrograde, and I don't know when that one ends, but I think it's pretty soon. I don't know. But that's been affecting us. So if you feel like that's affecting you, you can ask them to bring you information, or just go seek it, and then they'll bring you the right information to help you to understand if there's something that you're being resistant to that you need to actually release yourself and faith and trust into. Okay. Thanks for hanging out with me. I mean it. I love you guys. Where are they over there? Don't forget, you can't pour from an empty cup. You will only see the way by making the way. Ooh, I think that's the title. Bloom where you are planted. Your great wave awaits. Ooh. Another one. Ah! At least I'm getting a reprieve for a minute. Catch my breath. Trust and act accordingly. Oh, I love you, gang. I love you, Ninja Seals. You're doing great. Don't forget, I love you. Whoop. I love you. I love me too. You love you too, okay? And let's carry on. We're doing great. Woo! Okay, so I'll catch you on the flip side. Okay? Peace and out.